know where I go. Starting up a fire.
Let's start editing. Download Jisoo Liar cover and the original edited video. Links are in the description. First clip 5.0 seconds with added keyframe for fade-in effect. Opacity of the first keyframe is 0, second keyframe 50, and the third keyframe is 100. Second clip is the continuation of the first clip. Split the video clip to get the next clip. Use speed curve custom to make the 1.0 second clip to 1 point per second by adjusting the dots or beat like this. Add 2 keyframe at the first part of the clip and zoom a little the second keyframe. Then just add the third keyframe. The fourth keyframe adjust the opacity to 65 and fifth keyframe adjust to 0 to create fade-out effect. For the vertical cinema effect, add black photo from stock video. As overlay, use mask rectangle and tap invert. Use keyframe to control the movements of the vertical cinema effect. Just follow the original video. Add effect. Retro noise to. Tap effect, then tap object. Select all videos. Add the next effect for the second clip. Party strobe, speed 100. When done, remove the original video, then export the project. Make a new project and add the first exported clip. Duration should be 6.4 seconds. Then overlay the original video to see what's next. For the second clip, I used other video clip of Jisoo. Duration 0.5 second. Change the speed to 0.6 times to make it 0.8 second. Then make it smoother, better quality. Add animation in zoom 1 and transition pull out. Next, third clip duration 0.5 second. Change the speed to 0.6 times to make it 0.9 second. And make it smoother, better quality. Add animation combo stretch and distort and transition mix. Add white photo from stock video as overlay. Duration 0.6 second with splice overlay and animation out fade out. Add 2 keyframe at the last part and zoom out the last keyframe like this to copy the animation of the original video. For the fourth clip, use curve custom. This is 1.1 second. Add and adjust the beats to change the speed to make it 1.6 second. Then make it smoother, better quality. For the coloring effect, add keyframes. Add 1 keyframe at this part of Jisoo clip, then move forward for the next keyframe. Reduce the opacity to 0, then move again. Adjust the opacity to 100. With the same keyframe, adjust the brightness and exposure to 45. Fourth keyframe, adjust the exposure to 30 and brightness to 50. Fifth keyframe, brightness 50, exposure 50, saturation -7, contrast 50. Sixth keyframe, reset the adjustment and adjust the brightness to 15. 7th keyframe, brightness 15, saturation negative 25. 8th keyframe, brightness 15, contrast 25, saturation negative 40. 9th keyframe, adjust the saturation to negative 50. 10th keyframe, adjust the opacity to 60. 11th keyframe, 0 opacity. 12th keyframe, opacity 100 and brightness 50, contrast 25, saturation negative 50, exposure 50. 13th keyframe, drag the video up like this. 14th up to 16th keyframe, drag it up the video like in the original video. For the overlay, just drag it up the video like in the original video, duration 0.6 second. Duplicate the overlay and add as the second overlay. Using the same keyframe, just drag it up the video and reduce the opacity to 55 to create shadow effect like this. Do the same to all keyframes. To align the overlays, use mask rectangle and adjust the clip like this. Continue the steps until you reach the second to the last keyframe. For the last keyframe, adjust the opacity to 70 and drag the clip here and reduce again the opacity to 0 to create fade out effect. Freeze this last part to get the next clip. Trim to 0.2 second. Add keyframe to create a little movement. Now, duplicate this clip and add the copied clip as overlay. Change the speed to 0.2 times to make it 0.6 second. Do the same steps with the keyframes, but this time drag it down. Duration of the next main clip is 0.7 second. For the fade out effect, reduce the opacity of the second to the last keyframe to 0 and 100 opacity for the last keyframe. For the vertical and horizontal cinema effect, add black photo from stock video as overlay and use mask rectangle and keyframes to control the movements. Don't forget to tap the invert for this effect. Just copy the vertical and horizontal cinema effect of the original video. Add the next clip of Jisoo, duration 0.2 second. Change the speed to 0.4 times to make it 0.6 second. Add keyframe, then adjust. First keyframe, brightness 50, contrast 50, exposure 45. Second keyframe, brightness 50, contrast 50, exposure negative 50. Third keyframe, brightness 7, contrast 50. Fourth keyframe, contrast 25. Add animation out, rotate out 1. Now add black photo from stock video as overlay. Use mask rectangle and tap invert. Just follow the vertical cinema effect of the original video by adjusting and adding keyframes. Next clip, duration 0.6 second. Add animation combo yo-yo 2. Zoom out the first keyframe and just follow the animation of the original video by adding keyframe. Go back to the black overlay and continue copying the vertical cinema effect of the original video. Next clip, duration 0.3 second. Change the speed to 0.5 times to make it 0.7 second. Add animation combo pan right. Add keyframes to adjust the video clip. Add another video clip of Jisoo as overlay, duration 0.6 second. Add animation, combo left zoom. Freeze the last part of the clip of Jisoo and trim to 0.5 second, then continue adding keyframe until it disappears. Do the same to the overlay, add keyframes for the slide effect. Add another black photo as overlay and use the mask rectangle to continue adding the horizontal and vertical cinema effect. Add another clip of Jisoo, duration 0.7 second. Add animation in Zoom 1. For color adjustments, add keyframe. First keyframe, contrast 10, exposure 50. Second keyframe, exposure 40, contrast 50, brightness 15. Third keyframe, contrast 50, exposure 50. Fourth keyframe, contrast 25, saturation -15, exposure 50. Fifth keyframe, brightness 10, contrast 50, saturation -15, exposure 0. Sixth keyframe, brightness 0, contrast 50, saturation -50. Seventh keyframe, reduce the opacity to 10. Eighth keyframe, brightness, contrast, saturation all 0, exposure 35. Ninth keyframe, brightness 0, contrast 50, saturation 0, exposure 35. Next clip is the continuation of this clip, duration 0.2 second. Change the speed to 0.4 times to make it 0.5 second. First keyframe, same adjustments with the eighth keyframe. Brightness 0, contrast 50, saturation 0, exposure 35. Second keyframe, exposure 25, saturation and brightness 0, contrast 50. Third keyframe, same adjustment, but increase exposure to 50. Last keyframe, zoom out the clip. Add the next clip, duration 2.4 seconds. Add keyframe to copy the animation and change the color filter to black and white. Add transition camera pull in. Then at this part of the video, add another video clip as overlay, duration 0.6 second. First keyframe, reduce the opacity to 0. Second keyframe, opacity 100, brightness 50, contrast 50. Third keyframe, brightness 0, contrast 50. Fourth keyframe, no adjustment. Fifth keyframe, reduce the opacity to 55. Sixth keyframe, opacity 0. Add another video clip at this part as an overlay. Duration 0 point per second. With animation combo Funhouse Mirror 2. First keyframe. Opacity 0. Second keyframe. Opacity 25. Third keyframe. Opacity 70. Fourth keyframe. Opacity 75. Fifth keyframe. Opacity 100. Sixth keyframe. Adjust the last part like in the original video. Then continue adding the vertical cinema effect. And when done, remove the original video and export the project. Make a new project and add the video clip that was just exported and the original video. Split the main clip. First split clip 6.5 seconds, second split clip 9.8 seconds. Duplicate the second split clip and trim to 7.4 seconds. Add another clip of Jisoo, duration 0.8 second. Add transition pull-in. Add another clip, duration 0.7 second, and add transition mix. Add the last clip, the ending part of Jisoo video, duration 5.5 seconds. Zoom out the first keyframe like this. Second keyframe, normal size video. Third keyframe, opacity 0. Fourth keyframe, opacity 100, brightness, exposure and contrast all 50. Fifth keyframe, no adjustment. Sixth keyframe, brightness and exposure 50. Seventh keyframe, brightness 0, contrast 50, saturation -50, exposure 0. Add black photo as overlay for the vertical cinema effect. Result.